2019 has been a decisive year for Hogs of War. It marks the end of a decade whereby it's been almost 10 years since I started YouTube. I didn't actually make content from the get-go though, seeing as at the very beginning I was still in school, but I was heavily influenced by Team Fortress 2 and began making content in 2012, which remained the same for about 6 years before I realised that it just wasn't cutting it for me. The game is and always will be one of my favourites, but the content up until that point had all but dried up. So what was I to do? I didn't want to let go of the channel that I had built over all these years, but I needed a fresh start, something to focus my attention on. Now, Hogs of War had mainly been a secondary source of content, a side gig to what I was doing, sort of in between TF2 stuff. But that was when I noticed the lack of Hogs content on this platform, the lack of spoken knowledge about maps, pigs, the game's history, strategies. Essentially everything was there for the taking. I mean, let's be honest, there is a lot of Hogs of War gameplay for sure, but in-depth videos are quite hard to come by. So last year I deleted almost all of my TF2 videos and started over. I have to say it felt great to finally feel like I was making some form of content that A, I loved and wanted to put time into, and B, was original, something that hadn't been made or talked about 1,000 times before by other creators. I wanted to make Hogs of War videos in my usual style where I sit and talk, old school as it were. Ultimately I just needed to get the community's attention, and it was only after I joined the Hogs of War community Discord that viewership proceeded to skyrocket. Now 2019 has seen the Discord grow from just a handful of members to over 150. It's become the central hub for everything Hogs of War, as other sites like Reddit and Twitter didn't really have any traction. We do have a Reddit group for Hogs. If you're interested in joining any of the groups mentioned in this video, then please do. All links will of course be in the description. This has been the year where I've started my own podcast relating to all things Hogs. Meanwhile, as a community, we've also learnt about melee weapons and all the different classes in the bootcamp videos, jumped into airships,
oh my god, inhuman reactions!
Modded teams and terrain textures, creating dumb team colour combinations, broken the game countless times, learn about boats, planes and tanks, looked at unused content, created merchandise, done stupid things with barrels, created tutorials, discovered that swill used to be a bad weapon but now it is good. And it does happen on occasion that the enemy team will run into the flames, or they'll be like standing in some kind of position and end up being hit by it, just because, you know, it's an interesting one because usually you don't expect it. Like that, for instance. Finally been able to play online multiplayer.
Bobby? Are you still there?
Played the game at unreasonable hours of the morning. Where is he going? What? What? Why does the game do that sometimes? Found unheard Rick Mail voice clips.
What's he doing with a fucking lamppost on his head?
Finally put the lid on Hogs of War 2, and of course, meme videos. Now I know that these videos are ones that I have created, but I say that we have and not I have created them, because these videos would be nothing without you guys. I make these videos because I love the game, and what I've always wanted is for this community to grow and succeed. I wanted to spread this game across all corners of the internet with the intent of saying,
hey, there's a community here if anyone actually wants to join us.
Come the new year, Hogs of War will be turning 20. In 20 years, this game has given so much silly joy to all fans across the globe, and I think it's our job to continue finding these people and inviting them into the community, because this isn't even touching on the topics that have furthered the franchise. The projects like Open Hogs of War, where this year we saw the first iteration of the editor that allows us to view maps with a fully functioning camera. Hogs of War Reheated, with its fresh take on the entire game, where I was able to go up to Sheffield and meet the team and one of the original devs, Jacob Hapgood. The Hogs of War card game that has its Kickstarter pledge met in 2 days and tripled to just shy of 20k by the end of it. This community is well and truly alive, and other creators are beginning to make their own Hogs content, both through streaming and video making, and ultimately it makes me very happy. So as the year comes to a close and we begin anew, raise a glass to this community and what we have achieved so far, and remember that this is just the beginning. We want to control all of Sorceresia and the valuable swill resources it holds. Of course, I must end the year on thanking each and every one of you who has shown your support to me and the channel. With every like, comment and subscription, I honestly just can't thank you guys enough. I'd also like to thank my girlfriend who has put up with me over this past decade and has of course shown her support as well. Do you want to be in a video? Overall though guys, that's going to wrap everything up for this year. I hope you have enjoyed the content that has been created thus far and can indeed stick around for more. No one really knows what 2020 will bring. There will be old stuff, new stuff, random stuff, and hopefully some good stuff in between. Peace out everybody and Happy New Year.
Barbecue chicken.
Oh, please excuse me. Prepare to meet your maker.
So I'm going to hide behind the shelter, ensure that we aren't shot at from the get-go. And my game crashed.
Destination